Sure. Just to kick it off with starting with that cover art, I could just hear his voice complaining about something during that cover art. I could just see him like, I can't sit down like this, Sharon. They're taking a picture of me, and I don't know. Well, is this the cross? Am I supposed to be holding? I could just hear that. So it's just amazing when you can the character of a man just comes out in that picture. But yeah,
Yeah.
like off the bat, I always heard this song. My sister actually had this album and I remember her talking about it, um, and I never ever like listened to the full thing. I stole her albums many times. I stole a lot of Metallica albums. I stole like Master of Puppets or Ride the Lightning or you
Mm.
know, yeah, the Black Album, whatever. And like, uh, this was one of those albums that I remember her listening to, and my sister kind of brought on a lot of his 90s and his kind of solo work more her cup of tea versus like our Black Sabbath stuff. But coming into this, I did recognize a couple tracks. I did recognize the I don't know off the bat. Obviously, Crazy Train. If you don't recognize that,
Yeah.
you're just not from this world. But
Yeah.
and then Goodbye to Romance. I could kind of like I started to hear some of the Mr. Crowley. Obviously, is one of those songs that's very well recognized and amongst at least the fan base. As well, I believe this album was a platinum record. I believe it was certified at some point. Little known fact: the drummer of Uriah Heep is the drummer for this band, and he,
Wow.
before his passing, asked Ozzy to give him the certification of platinum for the album, and Ozzy did give it to him. And it's Uriah Heep's longtime drummer. I'm talking like from their most recognized albums, probably pretty much every album except a couple select albums where he had some personal things going on. So yeah, I was kind of surprised to see that. I was like, whoa, Lee Kerslake. I did not expect to see that name. Yeah, so yeah, off the bat, my top outstanding tracks, obviously Crazy Train. I really like Suicide Solution. That really kind of reminds me of like Uriah Heep 80s flair kind of feel to it with the power chords and the like that kind of groovy opener, as well as No Bone Movies. There's that kind of groovy 80s flair to it. Yeah, so I would say yeah, I don't know, Crazy Train, and Suicide Solution were my top three tracks. Surprisingly enough, and I'm just not going to go into my negatives, but my negative, not my negative, but my uh, let a track that I thought I liked more, but I didn't realize I kind of just liked the lore behind it versus the actual song itself is Mr. Crowley. It was a little repetitive, a little. It's like I like what it's doing, but it does it for too long. Not I'm not going to go into my negatives, but just something that was a little bit of my first initial shock was a song that I was expecting to get a like 10 out of 10. Just kind of was like, okay, this song is cool. It's got some creepiness to it, but like, man, I liked this song more than I did, but I think I just liked the idea of it more than I liked the actual complete beginning, middle, and end of the song. So yeah, for
Mm.
me, those are just my standing. Yeah, you're right over there, JT. Everything's kosher.
Everything's
Or
good. Everything's good.
maybe
We're
you
all
just
good.
got done running like a 5K or something. I'm not sure if.
I had an emergency call, but everything's taken care of, Mike. So,
Okay.
anyways,
Ah,
we're all good.
very
We're all good.
okay. Good deal.
Yes. But I heard everything you said. It's okay. I told him I said I'm in the middle of my podcast. Like, oh my god, I'll call you back. So it's okay. No, everything's good. Kyle, take it away, bud. So it's your standout tracks or overall impressions. What do you got for Blizzard of Oz?
Yeah, I mean, standout tracks, of course, Crazy Train. I mean, it's one of the most iconic songs ever written. I mean, you tell me to think of the first song I think of when I think of like a guitar mastery. It's the riffs from this. I mean, the intro riff to Crazy Train going into the main riff of the song, that solo in there. It is quite possibly the best guitar performance out there. It goes beyond just shredding in the solo and has feel to it. It's literally the perfect guitar track, in my opinion. Other than that, Mr. Crowley,
Mm.
Me and Mike, of course, differ here. This has always been, ever since I was a kid, this has been one of my favorite Ozzy songs in general.
Mhm.
And Goodbye to Romance, I think it's an absolutely beautiful song. Other than that, I Don't Know is great as well. It has some cool standout moments here or there, but those I would say are like the probably four top songs for me.
All right, let's get real. Your favorite, your only way you learned about Crazy Train is Trick Daddy's 2004 rendition of it. Let's be honest. Come on, man.
I don't even know what that is, Mike.
Oh, well, you must look that up because
All right.
it is ridiculous. But it is Ozzy actually really liked it and gave the go ahead to it. So yeah.
All right. I'll have to check it out. But yeah, I mean, those are my standouts. I mean, the guitar playing throughout this whole album is crazy good. I mean, Randy Rhoads, not much more to say on that. But yeah, those are my four. I'll get into other thoughts when we go into negatives, but
Yeah, sure. So those are a really good standout positives to the album. And my positives have, I mean, obviously kicking off the album with I Don't Know, a track that I was not aware of until after the fact of listening to this record. And obviously the iconicness of Crazy Train. It's in movie trailers, it's in movies. It's just an iconic song. It's part of popular culture at this point. One of the most iconic songs ever, truthfully, regardless if it's heavy metal or pop, rap, whatever. It is a standout, incredible track on its own. Goodbye to Romance, great track overall. My first time hearing it, actually listening to this record, because this is the first time I listened to Ozzy's Blizzard of Us all the way through. I knew the hit singles. I knew Mr. Crowley. I knew Crazy Train. I knew Goodbye to Romance a little bit, but this is just a really going through track by track. I was like, this is really something special, really something cool. Needless to say, I think the first side with Suicide Solution was actually a really nice touch. I like that one a lot. Also, Mr. And of course, opening up side 2 with Mr. Crowley. I mean, if you don't know Crazy Train, you don't live on Earth, and if you don't know Mr. Crowley, you might not know Ozzy Osbourne. So there's that. But yeah, no, this is but that's my standard tracks are pretty much the highlighted, because we're on Wikipedia. The highlighted tracks of Crazy Train, Goodbye to Romance, Suicide Solution, and Mr. Crowley, of course. Let's jump. I mean, that's just my positives though are just really strong overall. Those are the strongest tracks. But let's jump over to the negatives. Mike, what do you got from the negatives for this? If there's any negatives for Ozzy's Blizzard of Oz.
Yeah, I mean, I got my middle of the road tracks. Mr. Crowley's, it's kind of like the middle of the road for me, as well as, No Bone Movies. Goodbye Romance. Just another one that sometimes Ozzy's voice can do a song disservice, especially a song that repeats frequently. You guys know I do not like songs that repeat too much. Goodbye to Romance did that kind of for too long of a time. 5 minutes and 36 seconds can be a little tough to stay a similar thing again and again and again, especially when your voice kind of like does a certain kind of he has a very distinct, very uh specific kind of sounding voice that it it works, but at the same time, it can be a little bit trying on the ears for like a repeated time without moving into different things, which is what I really like about I Don't Know. Like Kyle was kind of saying, alluding to in a way, was that there's some standout moments on that song where it changes up something. Another thing I'm very vocal about is, there's some songs where you write just the riff and then you have the vocals and then you have like the bridge and the chorus and then you go back to the riff. And then there's like when you actually do some songwriting and do some cool little change ups and little interludes and other types of things going on. This song's got some cool little moments on it that remind me of like more classic rock. So like whereas I Don't Know has that classic rock feel, Crazy Train has that just like more like pop metal, pop I would say pop metal or pop like hard rock catchiness to it. Then you have some 80s feel, you have some dark stuff like Mr. Crowley and Revelation and this and stuff like that. And that's where I'm gonna highlight my least favorite track is Revelation, as well as Steal Away was okay. Towards the end it kind of doesn't seem to keep the momentum that how are you going to keep the momentum going with some of these tracks that are so iconic. But the it kind of touches on a bunch of different areas. The 80s kind of commercial feel. It's got some dark kind of Black Sabbathy, mixed it with more the mainstream feel to it, and then some dark songs that just don't seem to fit. And yeah, I would say my least favorite track's definitely like Revelation, um, Steal Away. Mr. Crowley's just middle of the road for me. I would definitely not say it's a bad song. It's just it's a storytelling song, and storytelling songs usually don't worry too much about the song changing. Is more about the lyrics telling you a story. So that's it has an objective, and the objective is met. So I'm not going to fault it for doing what it's set out to do. Yeah, so not too many downfalls here. Yeah, Revelation and Steal Away kind of ended a little weak, and then Goodbye to Romance, a little bit too nasally and repetitive for me, but still middle of the road. In the greater scheme of things.